Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 2, day 2, positive mindset. Let's jump right in. As I mentioned previously in the video entry for this week, I think I touched a bit on mindset and what it is, but I'm going to go expound a little bit more because essentially mindset is your thought process of belief, be it in your thoughts, your feelings about yourself, a situation, or circumstance. Is basically those set of beliefs that shape your perspective or how you see the world around you or make sense of things. Pretty much your mental rationale, how you rationalize mentally. Um, some people have fixed mindsets where they feel that their ability to do a thing or their ability to affect change are set and they cannot be altered. Or they feel limited in their ability to affect change, overcome obstacles, or to even be successful at any goals that may present some type of challenge for them. Then there are those with a mindset of growth where they believe who they are, where they are, and their abilities, talents, circumstances, and situations can change or be developed positively over time with specific intentional efforts and persistence. Uh, Mindsets, it's basically all about your mind, your brain, and how it thinks. The state of your mindset impacts your actions and how you respond to people, challenges, and situations. It may even show up as a comparison or how you feel you measure up to others in a specific setting, role, relationship. And those comparisons stem from how you think. Your thoughts about yourself that are based upon your own self-belief. These self-beliefs, they were originally initiated at birth by our parents. They were cultivated and developed, by our parents and those loved ones, our caregivers that are around us. And then eventually they become even more and more developed over time by our peers, our internal and external sources of conditioning, because it is conditioning. A mindset is conditioning. And that's a whole other topic in itself. But basically, either your mindset will confirm the positive strengths of you and who you are and how you believe, or either your comparisons, evaluations, or your confirmations of those things. They'll negate anything good, or they'll even downplay your true or potential attributes. It also shows up in how you evaluate a situation or a challenge. How do you look at external situations or things that are going on? How do you contemplate things? It will affect your questions such as, can I do this? Or can I do that? Whatever this or that is, you fill in the blanks. Perhaps your answer is like, nah, that's too hard for me. I've never done that before. I'm not smart enough. And who am I to think that I even could? I'm just a simpleton. I don't have that kind of family or educational background. No one in my family has ever done this. Or what makes me think I can? Or the flip side of that is, hell yes, I can see myself accomplishing that or anything. Hey, you know what? I've never done that before, but I'm willing to try. Or, what I want to do? I want to do that. Let me find a way to learn. Let me see if I can find someone to help me that has gone down that path and has been successful. Or finally, maybe you're saying, this is new. I'm experiencing a little fear or nervousness, but you know what? I'm going to decide right now. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm stepping out on faith. Think of your brain as a CPU unit of a computer. It's essentially the central processing unit of your entire body. The mind receives information, processes information. It even has a storage base where it retains and stores memories. Hence the reason our environment, our past and present, constantly affects its processing system as it continues to change based on the input it receives, processes, stores, and reuses as it deems appropriate. And that's based on our receptivity and acceptance of the data that it receives. That's a lot. I know I said a lot, but in essence, it's vitally important that you are mindful about what you allow to form, shape, or influence your mind. When you were younger and growing up, of course, you had no control of what your mind was receiving and processing. But as you matured, you had the option to modify that previous program of condition, reset, recalibrate, upgrade that internal programming to better fit your divine destiny, your purpose, or your goals. I like technology, y'all. Hence the reason for that analogy. But anyway, whether you realize it or not is the issue. Some of us have never come into the awareness that we have the ability to make those changes. But it's all about coming to a place of awareness. Awareness of what your mindset has been, acknowledging if it has not been the best or most positive, and recognizing a need for change. Then having the desire to do so. At this point, those positive changes can begin. When we are aware, we come to a knowing. Because when you know better, you can do better. So now that we know a little bit more about mindset, what that is and what it looks like, when your mindset is in a healthy state, the payoff of your effort is worth the commitment. It will also make a big difference in your future experiences in the areas of mental and emotional well-being, physical, relational, career, and finances. Let's talk now about a couple of things that may affect mindset and things that we can start doing to cultivate a more positive one. So one of the things to consider when thinking about what may affect your current mindset is how healthy your brain is. If your physical brain is feeling sluggish, drained, or just not as sharp as usual, consider your current diet. Diet affects our physical body, of course, because that's our nourishment, what we feed our body internally. It shows itself on the outside. What have you been eating? Are you nourishing your body with things that are healthy? Because 50% of your brain is comprised of essential fatty acids. And there are certain foods that can promote brain health, like omega-3s. They promote brain health and functionality. And you can find these in walnuts, oily fish, or you can even take a fish oil supplement if that's something that you do and your doctor is okay with it. Also be sure that you're consuming an adequate amount of protein every day for the amino acid effect. Finally, make sure to incorporate a healthy daily consumption of fruits and veggies, which contain plenty of antioxidants that your brain and whole body benefit from. Also, if you can, and I think you can truly do this, try and stay away from processed foods, sugars, and excessive alcoholic beverages, which tend to ultimately minimize your brain functioning. And it doesn't allow it to be at its best and in full capacity. So watch how you take the sugar and alcoholic. Sometimes alcoholic beverages have a high content of sugar, so be careful in that. Secondly, I want you all to make sure you watch your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Your thoughts matter and truly do become things that manifest in your reality. Because sometimes what we think about, we bring about. It starts as a thought, then that thought processes and forms an opinion, commits to that opinion with conviction, then you start speaking out of your mouth into the atmosphere that conviction with passion. Whether it's passionately negative or passionately positive, you're still speaking it out. And that spoken word begins to create for you. So be mindful of your thoughts. Be cognizant and aware of what happened, what you saw, or what you heard right before that negative thought started flooding in. That's the trigger. Catch it and check it at the door. Recognize those triggers so you can alter the thought right then and there with a different alternate thought and matching energy. It's a process, and it may have to be done repeatedly until your CPU unit overwrites the previous program and replaces it with a new program so that in your memory storage, your brain recognizes and accepts the new programming and thought process. In another way, another thing that might affect mindset is, or if you're locked in like a state of monotony, doing the same thing over and over again, if you're very strict or regimented and having an extremely structured daily activity, but never giving yourself time for forward release, relaxation, or some vitamin J-O-Y. Well, I'm here to tell you this may be affecting your mindset. The mind could be stressed with the same old day-to-day pressures or routines that it's confined to and has practice on a daily without any opportunity to experience anything new or feel positive because it's not being exposed to anything that it can process or use as a determinant or store in the memory base as a feel-good program to refer back to. It doesn't know what it is because you have not allowed yourself or your brain to have the experience. Or else you have and just forgot about it because it was replaced with repetitious actions and thoughts of the opposite. So there's an imbalance. And the mind does not have what it needs to change because it has no stored experience of the opposite of this routine and regimented action. It doesn't have anything to pull from and implement going forward. Pleasure and joy are a part of a good, healthy mindset. You need some downtime, some fun time, some pleasure time. And you want pleasure endorphins to become an equal, regular part of your life. Don't run yourself down into monotonous, rigid activity. You'll start to feel its effects in the mind and thoughts first. And those thoughts could lead to thoughts of despair, then overwhelm or anxiety. Make time for some downtime. Switch it up and be intentional about incorporating doing things for yourself that totally make you feel good, no matter what that looks like for you. No one can define it or tell you what it should be. Make it all about you and your mindset shift. Make some time in your schedule to regularly start exploring and doing some different things until you find what completely puts you in a zen place. And it gets those endorphins flowing and making you smile and feel good in and out. Even if it's taking a day not to do a damn thing and just chilling. Keep it healthy and in flow with good vibes and good energy. Whatever you do, do you, boo. You'll find that incorporating just this little change will positively affect and disrupt the feeling of monotony and routine that may have been gradually wearing on you mentally and affecting your positive mindset. In essence, continuous work on mindset is absolutely necessary. It's a process that requires consistent implementation of new processes and new ways of thinking. And it takes time to change a habit of thinking. Just as we've practiced a mindset of negativity that, has defined or defines our current mindset, it'll take that same level of commitment, consistency, repetition, and time to shift and change. Bottom line is that we all need to continue to work on improving our mindset for the better. This work is for a lifetime and requires concerted efforts, yes. Being conscientious about that process and not only changing negative thoughts, but checking them at the door as soon as they appear or show up in your brain. Additionally, we need to be mindful of and recognize those things that are triggering our negative responses. Immediately acknowledging the triggering effect and replacing it with an alternate, opposite, positive statement of resolve. And I think there is an activity or worksheet for you all to do to help to implement this change or just to practice it and bring it into real life. But I do encourage you, to be patient with yourself. As you implement these new processes and you start shifting from a negative mindset to a more positive one, okay? Be patient with yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was your current mindset. So anything worth having is worth working towards. But this mind work is a lifetime work, and its benefits are for a lifetime, and you are so worth it. Your total well-being, growth, and positive change are on the way. Let's get to it. I'm so excited for y'all because once things start changing in you and in your mindset, it's going to affect everything around you, and it's going to be so good. You're going to be so happy. I want you to live your best life. See you in the next session. Have a great week.